Alright, people, so again, kind of like the Ferguson shit, there's a bunch of shit going on right now in Baltimore with this whole Freddie Gray thing. So the point behind the story is, this Freddie Gray guy apparently was in police custody and somehow died in police custody, the details of which we don't know yet. So, I mean, if I were to guess, I would think that the police had, some responsibility in this guy's death, but you never know, and until there's evidence, until it comes out, I'm not really gonna say anything about it. But anyway, so the response to this was just like a bunch of rioting and shit, lighting shit on fire, like that CVS that was burned down, police cars on fire. And what was ironic about this is, Monday Night Raw, I remember Ferguson, one of I believe the biggest day of rioting in Ferguson took place during Monday Night Raw, and the same thing happened with this Baltimore thing too. But anyway, yes, the people who are burning shit down are fucking crazy and retarded. So I don't want to spend all the whole video talking about that. All right, we know they're crazy. We know they're retards. I kind of want to spend more of the time talking about, how this is happening, why all these people are out there protesting and shit and being violent, and in the political people behind the scenes about it too, and how to stop it and what it's, going to lead to and shit like that. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is kind of that mom or that woman who started hitting her son and dragging out. That was awesome right there. That was pretty cool. She just started, hitting her son. That's what parents, should be doing, and that's what we should be doing. That's one of the ways we could fix these problems as a society, by parenting and looking out for each other in society and keeping each other in line. That's what we should do as family members. That's what we should do as friends, or just acquaintances in society. We should promote good activity and condemn bad activity. And this mom did a great job of really keeping her son in line and pulling her off of the streets, and hopefully that kid will reform his life and stop doing bad shit like this. And hopefully this mom will keep his son or her son in line. But anyway, I did print off a few articles here. I want to just go over this one quickly here from Salon.com. This is crazy. But look at this title. This is an outrageous, over the top title right here. It reads, "Baltimore's violent protesters are right. Smashing police cars is a legitimate political strategy." What bullshit this is. Just over the top bullshit. And this is part of the problem. You got people, like this, defending these actions. I can understand, let's say, somebody kills your family and you want to burn their house down or, kill them. That's a normal response to, somebody killing your loved one. I believe there's a video on YouTube of I can't remember all the details, but it was something like this. This person killed this guy's son, so then the guy, hid in an airport and then, shot the guy and killed him. That's a normal response. That's a typical. I don't know if I want to say normal, but it's a response because it's a passion crime. You could say it. The person was angered because the guy killed his son. That's kind of how it. It's kind of human nature. But when we start burning, start attacking random people, it just does nothing for the situation. So there you go. And he basically goes on, in this article, I was reading a little bit of it, and he's like, It says, as a nation, we fail to comprehend black political strategy in much the same way we fail to recognize the value of black life. And I believe it goes on to say, this is a typical strategy in history here. It's just fucking bullshit. That he's trying to justify these fucking actions. I could have swore too, because I was reading this on my phone. I could have swore that this fucking article was fucking longer than it actually was, because I remember reading it. It says Tuesday, April 28th, 2015 at 5:15 p.m. I remember reading this, and I don't even think it was 5:15. I think this our article is altered here, because I remember it said something about stopping black consumerism. This article is altered, I think, because I was reading this and I think it was different, to tell you the truth. I think they edited this article. But anyway, nonetheless, I mean, just bullshit out of fucking, so on right there. Now I want to get to, here we go. Let's get to the clip of the mayor saying we give protesters space to destroy. So let me turn up the volume here so you could hear it, and here we go.
And I've made it very clear that I worked with the police and instructed them to do everything that they could to make sure that the protesters were able to exercise their right to free speech. It's a very delicate balancing act, because while we tried to make sure that they were protected from the cars and the other things that were going on, we also gave those who wished to destroy space to do that as well. And we worked very hard to keep that balance and to put ourselves in the best position to de-escalate, and that's what you saw this evening.
So there you go, people, admitting that they gave, that they're giving violent rioters space to destroy. And then I found this article here on the Baltimore Sun. This is just ridiculous. Gang members stand with city council against rioting in Baltimore. And it talks about how Baltimore police said Monday they received a credible threat that rival gangs have teamed up to take out law enforcement officers. Police said in a statement that they have received information that members of various gangs, including the Black Guerrilla family, the Bloods, and the Crips, have entered into a partnership to harm police. But the city council president, Bernard C. Jack Young, says these claims are false, and is just welcoming these gang members in and meeting with them and basically saying, with these gang members, with the Bloods and the Crips, we're going to combat these rioters. This is just fucking bullshit. So you have politicians meeting with gang members now, saying that the gang members are going to stop rioting and are against it. And then we have the same guy, the city council president, later in the article saying, Young, which is the city council president, Bernard C. Jack Young, said Young also apologized for comments he made Monday night in which he referred to rioters as thugs. You've got to be kidding me. Are you serious? Why are you apologizing for that? So there you go, people. There you go. I mean, instead of actually arresting these protesters, which they have been doing, instead of taking out these protesters, if a fucking protester like they were doing in Ferguson is like shooting at the fire department with a gun, or doing stupid shit like that that's endangering people's lives, then the police officers should take them out. And I mean, they were talking like, these police officers were ordered to like not do anything like that. And I don't get that, because once you take out one of these guys, they're not going to fucking keep protesting because these people are probably weak. They probably don't want to put their lives on the lines. So if you take a guy out and show an example and actually arrest a ton of fucking people and put them in jail and fucking, you know, just have a lot of cops out there arresting people. That's how you fucking combat this shit. Not by letting them protest and giving them space to protest. We have to jail these people and, if necessary, kill these people. Because, and I said if necessary, meaning if they are, you know, threatening somebody's life, you know, then, and also a great way to combat this is a Second Amendment. And if you stand outside your shop, you know, with a fucking, you know, gun or an automatic weapon ready to defend your store, no, they're not going to come in because, again, these guys are not going to risk their lives to do this shit. So then this is why we have the Second Amendment, people, to protect against not only the government, not only to shoot or whatever, you know, not only recreationally, but to protect against violent criminals like these bastards. All right. So I mean, I've given you a lot of ways to how we should stop this, and I showed you. I believe it was a few weeks ago, I showed you how George Soros funded the Ferguson protesters. I'm sure he's funding these too as well. So there you go, people. I mean, we could speak out against these black people or all these people who are just rioting all we want. But let's actually attack the root causes of it. You know, like the fucking mayor who's saying, oh, we're giving him space to protest, and George Soros who funds them. In Salon who justifies their actions. Alright, this is fucking lunacy. It really is. So I mean, that's kind of how you stop it right there. Second Amendment, promoting good values, actually, and the thing is, you know, that they also initiated a curfew, which I disagree with because I believe that is unconstitutional. Because just because there are criminals, I still have my rights. Alright? So the police should go after the criminals and arrest the criminals as opposed to saying to everybody, all your rights are taken away. That's not how it works. The Constitution is clear that we all have, you know, our rights. Unless we are infringing on other people's rights or taking away other people's rights, like the right to life. I mean, if you're going to shoot somebody, that's obviously, you know, infringing on other people's rights, and you should be punished for that. But if you're just walking down the street doing whatever, you should not be arrested. You should not be told, you know, you should not be given a curfew because that is unconstitutional. But I believe in a situation like this, there should be more cops, more, you know, hardcore vehicles and weapons. Now, I only think this should be reserved for instances like this one. I don't think that little towns should be getting Humvees and MRAPs, which they admit are for the constitutionalists. I made a video on that a few months back that the police, I believe it was a sheriff, I don't know for sure, but he said, yeah, this MRAP we just got is for the constitutionalists. So I think this could be used, all these, you know, Ferguson, New York, with Gardner, Freddie Gray in Baltimore here. This could be used to establish a militarized police and say, oh, we need militarized police now to combat this. We need MRAPs in all the towns. We need Army in the towns. I only think that, you know, you should have you know, like MRAPs and all these heavy-duty police equipment and outfits in situations like this where you actually need them. And that's gonna. I was watching a live stream a little bit too of the of people there, and there was nothing really going on there tonight. I think a reason for that is because, you know, they got the National Guard out, they got, you know, all these vehicles out, and I mean, this probably, you know, it kind of does look like, you know, they're kind of really stepping up the militarized police. But I mean, in situations like this, it works. Now, should it be done all the time? As I said, no. But in rare occurrences, you need to have a, you know, a more well-equipped police force for, you know, temporarily to quell these retards. So I mean, you know, what I'm trying to say is you need a militarized police is horrible permanently. You know, we do not need a militarized police force, but in certain situations it is justifiable to have a, you know, more advanced police force, I guess. So I mean, you know, I think I've covered all the points I really want to get to today, or you know, today in this video. The point is, yes, these rioters are, you know, lunatics, but I mean, the other point is that, you know, they're allowing them to protest, and they should be, you know, actually arresting these people who are protesting, putting them in jail, or as I even said, kill them if necessary. So there you go, people. That's and again, you know, Second Amendment's a great way to, you know, combat this evil. You know, just promoting good values in general, like that mom who slapped her kid, is a great way too. So there you go, people. There's my video on the Freddie Gray situation.